Hi, it's Michelle Einstein Songbird Song. It's Veterans Day in New York, in the United States, and we want to say thank you to the veteran of music, David Garrett, virtuoso violinist. I'll show you some pictures. There he is here, signing autographs here, playing, really into it. See the intensity? Smiling, he's enjoying it, he's happy. Happy. Focused, concentrating. Sexy. There he is. Happy. Focused. Here he's holding his violin. And Melanie, his daughter, immaculately conceived, is holding her violin. That's her brother Seth playing the drums. This is her sister. You can't hardly see this. Can you see this? You see Robin in a little dress playing the violin. And then this is Jindara, who is Melanie's daughter now, because Melanie's all grown up. You can see the light on the back of Robin's dress, and Jindara singing. Here's David Garrett over here. Here he is looking cool, playing, and here, and here. One of my favorite songs that he's played is called Dangerous, from his album Explosive. Alright, I made some notes to read to you, so let me begin. It's Veterans Day in the U.S. Happy Veterans Day to the man who makes music, the veteran who makes music with the violin as though he invented it, somebody said. David Garrett, you have been performing publicly, as you know, since you were 9 years old, having started studying at age 4, I believe, when your father, the lawyer, bought the violin for your brother to learn, but you learned it instead. Your daughter immaculately conceived Melanie Lynn Spear. Started studying the violin at age 2. Her teacher, Mrs. Elvira Morgenstern, wife of Albert Einstein, at one time bought Melanie a cardboard, very small violin just when she was 2 years old, just to get her used to holding the instrument. Mrs. Morgenstern had been a concert violinist with the Cincinnati Symphony. Melanie Lynn had been Vivaldi. You, David Garrett, were Sergei Romanov. Is that how you say it? No, Rachmaninoff. It's very late. I'm sorry. I've been working a long time here. But anyway, Rachmaninoff, who you are, was a Russian composer, virtuoso, pianist, and conductor. Rachmaninoff is widely considered one of the finest pianists of his day, and as a composer, one of the last great representatives of Romanticism in Russian classical music. Aries, born April 1st, 1873, died March 28, 43, in Beverly Hills. He was 6'4". As Wikipedia says, you are David Garrett, 6'4". Influenced by, Rachmaninoff was influenced by Tchaikovsky, now comedian, farmer, genius, IQ, Lenny Bruce, now Owen Benjamin. Rachmaninoff was also influenced by Franz Liszt, who's now sing birdsong, was Mozart, was George Gershwin, Sly and the Family Stone, was Jimi Hendrix. And he's also Melanie's brother. David Garrett was also king of Israel. King David's wife was the beautiful Bathsheba. Your first son died due to adultery karma. You saw Bathsheba's sunbathing, sent for her. Her husband was away fighting a war. He was on the front lines. You began an affair with Bathsheba. She became pregnant. You sent for her husband. He would not leave the fighting to return to her, be by her side. You, the king, had her husband killed. And you married your lover Bathsheba. You were God's favorite. After your illegitimate son died, Bathsheba conceived another child, another son, Solomon. He grew up to be a wise king, now reborn as Venita Michelle Long Holmes of Clarksville, Tennessee, Bathsheba's hometown. Bathsheba's mild red Michelle Anderson birdsong spear, nicknamed Minnow. She named Venita, who was born to her half-sister, who is deceased. Wikipedia says about you, David Christian Bongartz, known by his stage name David Garrett. Garrett is your mother's maiden name. Wikipedia goes on to say David Garrett is a German classical and crossover violinist. You fell in love with rock music. You mostly dress like a rock musician, I've noticed. But David Garrett, according to Wikipedia, is a recording artist. I was watching your video, Sandstorm, on YouTube. And I said, this classical virtuoso violinist is a rock star. You said lots of young people attend your sellout concerts. You've set records with numbers of concert attendees. Your mom, Dove Garrett, said during an interview that you were an active boy. You liked to climb every tree on your property. And she added, you fell out of every tree on your property. She said the violin kept you still. You would stop and play the violin. I got the impression she was saying it made you happy. I put words to some of the sounds you created on the song Dangerous, and it seems you are making love vicariously or using the violin as if it was your wife Bathsheba, using the bow as your penis and your fingers on your other hand to pleasure your wife's clitoris, which must be the fretboard, or perhaps it's called the fingerboard. All three of my children studied the violin. I escorted them to their classes with my mother in a parallel life, Mrs. Morgenstern, as a teacher. I did not study the awesome, sublime instrument. Your daughter Melanie, after several years of study, asked me if she could switch to the piano. Of course I said yes. I wasn't forcing them to learn music. I look at learning music, learning an instrument, as a privilege. It makes you more intelligent. I started piano studies at age 6, but soon after I started, during one lesson, my teacher, Mrs. Mildred Jones, hit my Beethoven fingertips. My intuitive other mother, Aunt Donnie, now my daughter Robin Birdsong, asked me if I wanted to quit. I said, relieved, yes. She had bought a piano for me to practice with, but it was in the tiny back room that was dreary looking, and it had a door leading to the outside that made me nervous, a result of my mother having left me alone in my grandmother's house when I was 3 or 4, and I thought and unconsciously felt fear to think somebody could break down this door. Spin-off home invasions began. When my son sang, Jimi Hendrix, who quickly caught on to playing the violin, asked me if he could switch to the guitar. Again, I agreed. He has become as good a guitar player today as he was when he was Jimi Hendrix. I saw him play Sly and the Family Stone songs at the Bitter End, a club in Greenwich Village in New York. I went with Jane, a fellow writing student from a writing group at the 14th Street Y in Stuyvesant town. She said her daughter was raving about a singer that she goes to see every weekend, sing birdsong. What? I said, that's my son. You want to go see him? She asked. Of course, I said. I didn't know he was playing at the Bitter End. I asked Sing and he left. He said, sure, Mom. And he left our names at the door and we showed up, Jane and I. Sing came on around midnight and kept the crowd on our feet for 3 hours. It seemed like time flew. Jane said, Sing has charisma. Girls were screaming at him like he was Elvis. I was clapping and dancing and singing along. I never had so much fun at a concert, not even at Sly's concert during the 60s, though I was a huge Sly and the Family Stone fan, too. I said after the concert, when did my son become the superstar? I've been in the green room at Conan O'Brien's show. He's a nice guy, that Conan. When Sing was performing with Luscious Jackson. I've seen them live at Irving Plaza. Sing was a star. He was the most exciting thing on the group. He probably made some girls conceive his babies. All a woman has to do to conceive a baby, which is a big secret, is to see or hear the guy she thinks is perfect father material, or even a perfect match for her, and it's unconscious, and the guy's unconscious cooperation occurs. The conceived child is born when mother is ready. A mother who doesn't like her child because she no longer likes the child's father should know she chose a father spirit. It might not be the same as the husband. The husband might just be the legal father who provided the testosterone, the one who fertilized the egg. Bathsheba remembers the moment she conceived Dr. Albert Einstein's spirit with David Garrett immaculately. If he is physicalized from only her urine, then the soul won't accomplish much in life. If she marries and receives her husband's sperm, then he, the baby, will have testosterone, which means he'll have power. Healthline.com says, testosterone is an important hormone. It can boost libido, increase muscle mass, make you big and strong, in other words, sharpen memory, and bump up energy. So we'll end but the man, Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, said all the successful men he interviewed have become successful because of the love of a woman. So we'll end the video. By the way, Napoleon Hill is Sing Birdsong. Has been reborn as Sing Birdsong. So we'll end the video meant to thank veteran of music David Garrett for the many years of pleasure he has given the world. He has the sweetest smile. He charms us as we watch him also enjoying himself as well as causing us to enjoy ourselves while making music. Okay, so there you go. Happy Veterans Day, veteran of music, David Garrett. We love you.